Welcome back to the ESPN Esports studio. Darren Kwilinski here with you, and MSI well underway and representing North America. We got Team Liquid, but the question remains, how will they do? And more specifically, can Doublelift finally bring home some international hardware? To help us answer that question, we're going to bring in Emily Rand from the West Coast. Now, Emily, Doublelift is domestically dominant. He has the most domestic wins of any North American player at 6, but a big goose egg in the international side. Tell us what you think. How can he bring this home?
So I actually think this TL team's like pretty good. Like I think it's one of the better offerings that NA has had in a while, but I also unfortunately think that a lot of this isn't up to Doublelift, unfortunately. He is still a very strong player, but going up against some of these teams where, you know, we've talked about this before, TL is kind of below the G2, SKT, IG kind of triple threat at the top. They're considered, you know, just slightly below those three teams. And so I think a lot of it is actually not going to have a lot to do with Doublelift himself at all, but more on the strength of some of these teams that TL are facing and whether they can pull off some upsets.
I guess a quick follow-up question for you, Emily. Are you saying that Doublelift doesn't have the capacity to solo carry?
Not really. I do think that if TL are going to win, they will win through trying to provide bot lane pressure and also through team fighting. You saw even in their series against Fangvu when they picked some split push comps, they actually still won through team fighting. So TL kind of has made the habit of doing this on the international stage. So we'll see how they go moving forward and maybe trying to spread more pressure on the map. I do think one thing I do want to point out about Doublelift specifically is that he will have to have a stronger performance than what we saw against Fangvu. I don't know if, you know, it was just kind of a warm-up. They're obviously a much better team. They have a better understanding of the game than Fangvu does, I believe. And Fangvu also targeted him, especially in game 1 when he was playing Lucian. I believe they consistently pretty much ganked bot side. But all that being said, I do think he does have to step up and have a better performance than what we saw of TL in play-ins in order for TL to, again, pull off some upsets against these teams that are expected to beat them.
Absolutely, and two quick fun facts for you. Lucian is actually Doublelift's most played champion internationally. Caitlyn is his domestic most played champion. Another quick fun fact for you, his domestic win percentage just over 64%, and his international win percentage just over 51%. And that's through the play-ins at MSI. But let's talk about the double round robin coming up. They have Fangvu Buffalo and Flash Wolves on the first day. They already 3-0'd Fangvu Buffalo, and you were touching on that matchup already. But I want to know a little bit more about the G2, IG, SKT matchups. Where does Team Liquid stack up there?
So I really think, again, what they have to do is tighten up if they're going to run these split push comps with Impact on something like a Jace. Impact, I actually have praised his team fighting skills very widely. I think he is a fantastic team fighter. I think that's a lot of the reason why you see the meme come out where like Impact can only play tanks, because he looks really good on tanks. He can control team fights on them. If they are going to be putting him on these split push champions like Jace, we saw them testing this out in season 2, right? And trying to figure out how to set up a 4-1 or 1-3-1 to spread pressure. I think they really have to tighten that up if they're going to pull off some upsets against, for example, a team like IG, who's just so aggressive and will pick any fight and also has an insane split push threat, not only with the Shy, which is obvious, but they can also send Rookie into a side lane as well. G2 is kind of similar. They can run split. They can also out-team fight you. They're remarkably flexible, so you can also see maybe some interesting picks in the bot lane for perks. I do know that they will likely not be playing with Mickey X, which does affect that team somewhat. But again, this is a very flexible and dangerous team that can spread pressure really well. And then SKT they do what TL wants to do, but better, which makes that a very challenging matchup for TL as well.
Absolutely. We'll be keeping an eye on all of that throughout the week, and we'll have plenty of content from Tyler Erzberger on site at MSI. Emily Rand, thank you as usual. And for more mid-season invitational coverage and League of Legends coverage, keep it locked right here on ESPN.com/esports.